Hey guys, Mackenzie asked me to make a quick video with some things that I've learned from doing IEP meetings in Zoom, since we're going to be making that switch soon. I have been doing all of my IEP meetings this year in Zoom, so I have had some practice, and I have to admit that I actually really prefer it in Zoom as compared to BBC. It just kind of adds that personal touch. You guys all know that when you try things in Zoom with your students and you actually get to see them, it's a lot nicer. So it does take a bit of time to get used to where all the new buttons are, but it's not too terrible. So I usually just start out, obviously, here in Zoom. Everybody has my Zoom room link, and then I will start by sharing my IEP slides. I just took what was sent to us, and I'll put welcome to our IEP meeting. We'll do some introductions, the agenda. I like to talk about their procedural safeguards, just kind of briefly, and then I like to tell my students what an IEP is and what it's for and all that good stuff. So we talk about this, and then I stop sharing. And I am in this room twice. That's kind of confusing just because I wanted you guys to see actually what I'm doing. And I need a participant to be able to show you how to give them control. So here I am in here twice. So don't be confused by this. This would usually be the rest of your team, parent, student, whatever. So after we've welcomed and gotten started with the meeting, go away, Trillian. Sorry about that, guys. Also, I didn't know how to record it with double screens, so I'm on one screen, but I do usually use both of my monitors. I'll have like the Zoom room on one and the documents I need on the other. So that makes it a little nicer too. But then I will share goal view. Another tip, sometimes, like when I'm starting the meeting, I'll have already opened my IEP slides or something like that, and then when I go to share, I can't find it anymore. Sometimes Zoom doesn't recognize the program you want open if it's minimized on your computer. So you'll just have to stop sharing and go unminimize it, open it, and then come back to the share and it'll be there. So just in case you don't see it, that's where it is. So then we'll do goal view. This is just the sample student for the sake of FERPA. We do whatever we need to on the computer. Another reason I like Zoom, not that you can really see, but it works a little better with scrolling. It's a tiny bit better than BBC is. So we do all of our stuff. I like to save my stuff into a document on my computer or a folder with all the documents on my computer for each student. So after we're done in goal view, I stop the share, and then on my own computer, I will open up my documents, and I come here to my caseload and this year's files, and here's all my students. This just helps me to keep it organized. So then if I'm opening up the IEP for us to sign, I would open it and then come back here to share. I open all of my documents at once and I will start sharing. Let me wait for that to go away. The only thing you need to be aware of is it does need to be Adobe Acrobat Reader DC, which is free, so that's nice. You'd have to go and download that. The Adobe Acrobat that the school gave us all licenses for does not like Zoom because it's an old program, I believe, is what I was told. We had a whole fiasco with it at the beginning of the year, where if you used the other Adobe, you would go to sign. Sorry, that's my baby. And you would sign, and then it would crash and lose your signature. So that is no fun. And we found out that you just have to have this version. So if you don't have this version, you can go right to Adobe's website and just download it, no problemo. But keep both of them. The only thing that this Adobe doesn't do is password protect. So that's why I say to keep both programs, because if I have to password protect a document to send it to a family, Adobe Acrobat Reader DC does not do that. So I will open it with the other Adobe and password protect it. But for the sake of your IEP meeting in Zoom, you do have to have this if you want to sign. So that's all there is to it. So you can see I may or may not have had to re-record this because there's already a signature. But what you will do is hit sign And let me make this go away so I can show you where it's at in the new version. These 3 little dots up here. It'll also open up all your documents with tabs here, so you can easily toggle back and forth between each of your documents. And it saves the saved signature between documents. So if I also had an age of majority pulled up here, I would be able to click on that, have my student sign it, and then come back over here and click on the IEP and be able to use the same signature, just like when we used it with BBC. So you click on these 3 dots, click sign. You're going to clear this one because you want a new signature. And you want to draw it. And then you're going to come back up here and highlight over all these tools. Hit remote control. Whoever you're going to have sign it, they now have control of your computer. So don't move your mouse because then you'll be in a mouse fight. They will sign. Beautiful signature. Hit apply. And then you have to say to them, please hold your mouse still while I get control back. Otherwise, you will be fighting between the 2 of you to have the mouse control. I'm sure there's a shortcut somewhere. I have not Googled it. Every time I think of it is when I'm in a meeting and then we're out of the meeting and I forget. So I'm sure there's a shortcut. But you'll come back up here if you don't know the shortcut. Click on remote control and just hit abort control. And then they no longer have control of your computer. And you can move on to the next person to sign. Like I said, it will save this signature. So if I had age of majority open over here, I could click on age of majority and pull the same signature on so that parents and students and everybody only has to sign once. And that's that with meetings in Zoom. So when we're done, I stop sharing. You can file transfer through Zoom. So what you would do is you would come down here and click on file, and then you'd be able to go to wherever it is that you need to be to get the file and send it across just like our file transfer library would work. And it'll pop it up in there, and then you don't see it on mine because I'm the one that sent it, but it'll have an option down here for you to like download and save it so that you don't have to email it. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. It's pretty easy. It just takes a couple times to practice it, and I prefer it to BBC. There's lots less glitches and it's more personable and just downright wonderful. I hope you loved this. I'm sorry that it was almost 8 minutes long. I did not intend for that, but I love you all and I am glad to be working with you, and have a wonderful day.